Atmospheric Wannabes is a musical venture curated by Luis Tedesco, based in Buenos Aires. He uses this platform to combine music, art, and video into a visual and audio experience for his audience. He touches on themes such as dystopia, science fiction, artificial intelligence, and the environment. You can listen to Atmospheric Wannabes on Spotify and Instagram.
All right. Well, thank you, Louise, for taking the time today to discuss Atmospheric Wannabes and your recording career, or that you're trying to take on. Give me a brief history of Atmospheric Wannabes.
So I used to have a lot of like rock bands that I tried to mix out with electronic music, but it was like 10 years ago, so it's not the same thing that is happening right now. So maybe I have many difficulties. So then I start to make techno, start to produce, make some gigs with some friends. And a while, when I see that I try to make a style or sound, I just wanted to do a project that I could write my songs, that I can produce my songs and have my own style in the music too. So what I do is try to work with a lot of artists. So I think that is going to make a difference, or at least that's what I'm feeling, because I really love art, and it's the only thing that I think that can make it or have more value is to work with other artists.
Absolutely.
So, right. So that's my idea. It's like I have like a vision, but I figured out that working with many people is like it's changing the way all the time, but it's going to have its own north. So in the compass. So I really having a good time, and I'm like always working with video. It's like nowadays I have like I'm releasing one song per month, and I work with the artists for the artwork or the video clips. So I don't know. That's the idea. It's like mixing a lot of styles. I love to mix all for example, nowadays I'm making like a blues song, but I don't want to be like really electronic music and not so like old school blues. So it's like a struggle every day, but I really enjoy it. So and this pressure of doing something like one song per month is like really intense, but it's really awesome because when you're an artist, you always think that you fell in love with the things you do. So you said, okay, I'm going to finish this song in like 5 months. So when you say I'm going to finish this and working with people in 1 month, it's like really, really bizarre, and you need to like push yourself to improve yourself. So I'm really disciplined. So I'm having a lot of fun right now. So of course I have these days that I like saying like what I'm doing or what I'm going to do, but it's really awesome. So that's the idea of Atmospheric Wannabes. It's like produce things and work with other people. And my idea is to work with people from all around the world. So 3D artists, musicians, etc.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you are willing to collaborate with, like you said, you kind of are looking for different influences and different touches to create something new and something you wouldn't have thought about or wouldn't have done just sitting in a dark room all day. And that, because I feel like when you think about like when you think about musicians, right, like they get like so you know, I was watching something about Van Halen about a month ago, and like how like Eddie Van Halen like locked himself in like the studio for a month, didn't let anyone talk to him. And like, listen, I mean that was work for him, and obviously they were very successful. But at the same time, that, you know, it doesn't allow for other touches, or that defeats the purpose of a band, right? But you're looking to create something and then have different people give their touch. I think that's really, really nice, and just really, you know, it kind of opens up that door of like something nobody would have thought about, you know.
Right. And it's like
no, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like we all artists are like a little selfish. So when we do our stuff, it's like it's our baby, and we don't want anyone to touch it. So it's perfect like it is, and it's not like that. So when you work with other people, it's like you have to change a lot of things of yourself. So it's like other ideas, and it's of course it's not going to be always your first idea. So the funny thing is that you always find out that at the beginning it's like you're saying like, no, this is f up, so this is not going to be the way that I wanted. So at the end you see that they do something better that you thought about, and ideas that you never imagined. So for me it was like a real struggle, but it's really cool to work with people. So I think that everyone should do that. So I think it's awesome.
And I was going to also say that I like that you had said that, you know, you make yourself, not make yourself, but force yourself to do a song a month. And while that is definitely challenging, it's also got to be very rewarding to say, well, you know, you can look back that month and say, okay, well, you know, I had to sit there and create all this and take in other feedback and other touches, but then look what we got. We got a new song. We got a new something to listen to.
Right.
So that's
right.
So I mean, even though, you know, even if you feel like, oh my God, I got to do this, but it's got to be very rewarding at the end of the month to say, look what we created. Look at all the work we put into it.
Right. And for me, it's like every time that I finish one work, to say it like that, it's like, okay, next thing. It's always like, okay, it's done. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. Let's just focus on the next thing. So
exactly. Like you're ready for the next thing. You're like, all right, it's done, and you're ready for the next thing to work on. You know, I think that's very that's great. It's really good to hear. What would you say was what initially sparked your interest in music?
I was like very young. I know that many musicians say this, but the first thing that I really loved, and it's funny, is the radio jingles or the music that they put on the. So it was like I was like really obsessed because I was singing all the day, all the, I don't know, the things that I hear in the publicity, right? So I was like, I want to do that. I want to do like that kind of thing, to do something that the people sing every day. So, but the funny thing was like after I have like other brothers that are living in Italy and other places in Europe. So they send me all the time this electronic music, like all the music they send it to me. So I was like absorbing all the. It was like the Stones listening all the blues music or the music that they didn't hear anymore. So I started to grow up listening electronic music, and that wasn't really natural here in South America. There was a lot of rock music, so it was like I was always listening, trying to understand how they make those sounds. So then I started to study for. I wanted to be a lyric singer. So. So yeah, I have like 2 years studying that, and it was awesome because I know how to sing, and I'm not the best, but it's fine. I know.
I'm sure you're better than I am. You're probably way better. No, I'm sure you're a very good singer.
Thank you. But the thing was that after a while I was like saying like I'm like a very chill dude, but I always like very rebel, like I want to do my thing, I want to do my stuff. So it was not a long trip, but I'm really happy because those years that I was listening so many strange music and the folk music from my country too. So I can, one of the things that I always try to do when I meet people is to talk about music. Tell me what you hear, I will know who you are. So that's my, like, I do love music. So I think it's awesome and it's very underrated. So because you can buy a cool um, um, a cool artwork, but the music is like everybody is making music, and it's fine, it's awesome. But I think, well, that's my point. I maybe just go too far away, but I was like, I think the radio was what was the first place that I was trying to like
Right.
being obsessed with the melodies and all that pop thing that you need to hear. So yeah, I think that was the idea. That was what happened. So.
Okay. Do you also play any instruments?
I do. I play the piano. I'm not so good at it, but I also play the guitar. But I think that every time I play the guitar, maybe she suffers a little bit. So we are like in peace right now. So I just call some friends that they are awesome playing the guitar. So
Yeah.
So I think that I'm not the best one to. I'm really good like producing sounds like samples and beats and using effects in live sessions when I play. But I do leave that kind of work like the guitar thing and the piano things to other guys. So that's and I feel,
you leave it up to them to do their thing. That's the whole collaborating.
That's right.
So, what does Atmospheric Wannabes try to communicate in the music? Like, do you have any themes, or do you have any messages that you want to get across?
Yes, I'm going to be like very. I'm just going to talk like 3 hours about this. So the idea is like, yeah, I know, because we don't have all the time of the world, right?
Well, so, you know, we could always revisit this.
Okay, great. Second part and third part.
Part 2.
The idea is to. I love all the science fiction and cyberpunk stuff and a lot of things that I see watching movies and other stuff. But the idea is that I have a really strong feeling about like all the shamanic things and the spirituality things, and what I find out nowadays is like there is like an excess of information that I really love, but it's like for example, I do like Zen meditation like 6 years, and every time that I met someone that is like starting to meditate, they talk to you like, I'm going to save you, man. It's like, this is awesome, and it's like, I'm just like, okay, it's fine. But what I try to do in my songs is to write a little bit about some kind of things that happen in society, and some things about the personal ideas of how to improve or be. But I don't know if I'm like the best doing that. But it's like every time that I write music, it's about love. But I want to compensate that cheesy thing with some weird stuff in electronic beats. So that's what I try to do. It's like I try to do, for example, I don't know, I talk about society with spirituality things, and for example try to make a powerful song. I don't know. So maybe you're not going to hear the first time the things that I try to sing the lyrics, but if you pay attention, you will try to figure out more things and more stuff, and you will try to find out also in the art that we're working at. So but to be honest, it's like this is all the time like transforming, like so it's like I just work. I have this idea that I want to transmit about all the things that happened to me in my life, but also what I think what people should listen, but it's not like the real thing. So, but I think that it's like that. It's like trying to show what I feel and trying to mix it with all the things that I really love, like the movies, the electronic music, the folk and the rock music. So it's a very catchy question. So.
I mean, I get the impression that, you know, your music, you know, while maybe you have like a little niche thing with the science fiction, overall, I feel like it's ideas and thoughts and feelings that everybody experiences and has, you know, as a person, you know what I mean? And do you feel that, like, you know, fans can connect with that song and those feelings and you know, because I think at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to put a feeling out there that anybody could say, oh yeah, I understand where this is coming from, or oh, that's me, or I've experienced this before.
Right. I really think about it a lot of times, maybe one time per week to just keep going. But I will tell you a really short story about when I played the first time. It was in a place that it was like really underground stuff, and there was this punk bands, music bands. So when I start to play with the computer on my synth, and I was alone with a microphone, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was like everyone saying like, what the hell is going on? And when I finished playing my songs, they were like really powerful, but it was like something that I shouldn't be there playing that. So after I finished, it was like one of these guys with a mohawk came to me and said, you know, man, I don't know what you do, but I think I like it. I think it's fine. So I really enjoy that, because it's like, I'm not hoping that maybe the people like it, but it's like they know it's something different, because I listen to music every day, all the time, like everyone else. But it's like sometimes you want to hear something different, something that maybe it's not too experimental and make you feel bad, but maybe you want to hear something that have some kinds of sounds of bands that you like. For example, I love Nine Inch Nails, I love Tool, I love many dark music, Rammstein, but I also love hip hop, so I also love The Prodigy and Chemical Brothers. So, but I always think, when I have any doubt, I think what they would like to hear. I know that Trent Reznor, he will never like to hear me doing like a cover of Nine Inch Nails. So I try to think, okay, what music I would do that he would be interested to hear about. So
wow,
yeah,
that's really interesting way to think about it. Yeah, I didn't even, because it's true. Like I do come across on Instagram, you know, people. I feel like a couple people that follow me. I feel like they follow me, but then they unfollow me. But that's another whole side of the business, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the people who seem to add me tend to do like these type of remixes or like covers of Nine Inch Nails, and it's just like, that's cool, you know what I mean? But it exists already, and he does a lot of his own remixes and stuff. So that's a really interesting way to think. Like, what would he be interested in, or what would something that he would listen to, or maybe could be a, you know, not only is the word appealing, but what would be that similar sound, but it's still your own touch. Again, it's your own. It's a good way to think about that, because I think it's it already exists for a reason, you know. So the fact that you're trying to do something again with your own touch, and the fact that you're collaborating with others, that, you know, makes it more authentic, I think. But so speaking of Instagram, do you use Instagram and social media to connect with others abroad, for either collaborations or just trying to get some people to listen to your music?
Yeah, I know something that it was like, I don't have like 1,000 followers right now, but I don't care, really, to be honest. I don't care, because after many years, I figured out that it's not always about how much money you pay or anything. It's like the organic thing that to interact with people. For example, right
Right.
now we are just like meeting and talking, but it's like you can fight with the real thing of what you're doing, that is to communicate with people. If you do music or any kind of art and you don't try to be with people, or maybe you live in a cave and you do art all day, like Van Halen or whatever, it's like you really need to be in touch with people in the real way. So I I work more with people in real life that I do
Right.
in social media. But for example, I know that this is time to me, like, to have someone that I'm doing that
Yeah.
because my problem is that I try to do all the things by myself, and it's just
Right.
it's I'm really tired. So it's like I need to have someone doing that, for example. But I think that what I do trust a lot is that now I am going to play some jigs. So it's always the real people. So because even if you pay a lot of, you can pay like I don't know 10,000 followers if you want. It's like an issue
Right.
that. But when you see the stuff of this guy or this girl, and or you go to see them playing live or whatever, you see that there is no one there, or they're just not very cool people. So it's like having like a garden and trying to be really perfectionist with all the plants and flowers that you're paying attention, because they are alive. So well, maybe it's a hippie thing that what I'm trying to say right now, um, but I think that the idea is to work with people in real life. We all
Right.
need to go out of the bedroom. So, and that's something that it was like a real struggle for me, because I try to be perfectionist, and I'm trying to do all the opposite right now, and I'm having a great time. So that I think that I can be wrong. So, so that's my idea.
Well, yeah, and I agree that like you can't buy followers, or like I said, people a lot of bands I should say, or artists will add me. I don't know where they find me. I guess they find me somewhere. They add me to get me to follow them, to just unfollow me, and I'm just like, but
Right.
okay, like it's bizarre. Or yes, to pay for followers, which is just again like kind of just I mean, I don't know how much that really works. But I'm more or less I'm talking about like just trying to connect with others abroad, or trying to connect with opportunities to um, get your music heard and get your sound out there and get noticed. Is that something you're trying to do? I know it sounds like you're obviously very busy. You are busy and you're trying to do it all.
Right. Yeah, it's like I know that everyone who make anything that is like, I don't know, I'm not talking only about like art. It's like any entrepreneurship, or anyone who is like making a business for its own. They're going to have these struggles all the time, but it's like you're not going to have the all that love at the beginning. It's
Yeah.
like no one is
Right.
going to pay you right now because your efforts. So, but it's something that we need to be like a horse race, like just
Yeah.
watch the
Yeah.
goal or what we want, and I think that that's really like honest to well, at least to myself. So it's like sometimes I have this the things that my friends say to me. They are really cool. They tell me how to do my music, so that's really awesome. So they tell me, like, for example, you should do trap music. You should do like beats for this producer that they and to me it's like, no, it's not like that way. It's like I'm doing my stuff, and I know it's something different, and I know that at least it's giving me like this boost when I do all my everyday stuff. So I know I came home really tired, and I will try to figure out how to work and keep working.
Yeah.
And you are like really tired, but you're really happy. So that's, I don't know. It's like other way to try to see all the effort. So and you meet people. So I don't know. I'm really happy, to be honest. And I know it's going to be something good, I'm not the best, but it's going to be something awesome. So.
So tell me a little bit about on your Instagram page. You do a lot of you do this artwork. You have like the different images split up. Is that you take these photos, correct? Or you stage them or?
Yeah, I produce them, but I work with some photographers, like this girl that is called Annie Huero, that she worked with 35 millimeter films, right? Like, so I really do a lot of scouting, like with who I'm going to work with. It's like these were the first things, but I'm just having like we're going to do something, shoot a video in the next 2 weeks with a really cool dancer, and I try to see how to, I don't know if impact, but try to see with the people I'm going to work with to have a good feeling. So and I know that's very difficult. So it's like, for example, in one of the things that I have in the pictures in my Instagram account, it was like everybody was asking me, you have a band, so because it's look like a band, but in fact they are models, and they are, I have like this kind of group with people that they are collaborating and working with me, but it was like a concept. So it was like, first of all, before I started working with people, I was working in 3D. I was using like After Effects, Cinema 4D, whatever. So then I realized that I need to be doing music. So then I started right. So then I start to do the scouting thing. So then I meet a dude from Malaysia or any place like that. That he's an awesome 3D artist. So it was like it's I don't know. It's funny how maybe there are people that really trust or like your work. So, but so it's like I'm really shocked sometimes how people like. I think that I have a long way from here, but I'm working with great people. So. But my idea is to, like I told you before about the science fiction thing. For example, I can't do that in real life. It would be like I don't know, a lot of money. So okay, how can I figure it out? So well, okay, let's do something in 3D. So that's the idea. And my idea is to mix all the photographers and the 3D and the visual artists. So it's one step at a time. So but I don't know if I'm giving the right idea with the pictures, but I know that the people really like them, so they really feel something. So that's awesome. I know I love the conceptual art. So for example, you see a picture or someone who draw, and you imagine a story. So that's my idea. Is to, you say, well, why he's doing that, but it creates you like a story. So I think that's the point of what I'm doing. So
yeah, I really like it. I think it's very attractive. You know, it's like you said, it ties it in with your concept and what you're trying to convey in the music. So and I always like that collaboration when you said they are with the music. So I feel like that definitely attracted me to your Instagram page for sure. I mean, not to seem like just about the visuals, but like, no, I think that's important. And if that's a vision that you have, then I don't see why not. It's not superficial in any way, you know, especially since there is like a thought behind, you know, there's a concept behind it. It's not like, you know, naked girl or naked guy or just, you know, it's just something it's not flashy, you know what I mean? Or it's not cheap, you know what I mean? It seems like there was thought behind it. I mean, even if it is models, I mean, that's okay. I mean, it is what, you know, if it were, it obviously works, I think. What do you say?
No, it's like I see that all the time, that about the photography models, that it's not about how pretty they are. They should be like models. These guys that we work to, what I didn't put all the pictures, but they were like great posers. I don't know if that is the so, but I don't know. But I agree. I agree. It's like yeah. It's not only a pretty face. It's like doing something great. So.
So what do you have coming up over the next couple months in 2019? Any besides the song a month? Anything you can give us a sneak peek or a sneak idea of what you're going to be working on?
Yeah, we're going to do a video with this dancer that I upload something, but at the same time I'm just like preparing like 3 or 4 more tracks. My idea is to start playing outside, try to see how people react to the songs too. And then my next step would be to go to Europe or any other places. And
wow.
and yeah, and one friend told me that Luis, you should start doing like go to the places that we have here first, like I don't know, going to the other countries we have here. So my idea is to try to see. To be honest, I would love to do this in like 3 months, but I can't. So
right.
I'm like preparing myself to just have. I have some connections outside, so that I'm really lucky. But I would really like to go to go outside, and after meeting new artists and people, see for example, if I came back home here in Argentina, in South America, tell them, you guys, can you help me with doing with this with visuals and any other stuff, and have people working in the project in any part of the world. So that's my big dream. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see where it's going to get, but I think it's right. So that's the idea. So now I'm working this bizarre blues project that is in Spanish, but I know that I need to start doing songs in English too, because you have more attention or any other. My English is awesome, right? I sound great.
You speak very well. You speak very well.
Well, thank you, but
you should I mean, I feel like in where I live, like the New York City area, I mean, I feel like that would be very easy. Now, I say easy, and no, it's not easy, but there's a large Spanish speaking population in this area. Right. Number one, and number two, I mean, again, like it's a very contemporary field to get into for music. I mean, everyone's looking for the new thing, and not necessarily in a flashy way, not necessarily in a cheap, easy radio friendly way. I mean, people are really looking for and there's opportunities too, and there's channels to work in. So, I know I don't have any connections like you probably have in Europe, but I mean, at least here it'd be interesting how you would do in this area, at least in New York City.
Yes, I will. I would love to go. To be honest, I would go anywhere. I would go to place in a bizarre place in China if I can. But I will do it. I know I will do it. But it's like if I go to New York, for example, I would love to do a video clip, a music video clip, or it's
right.
I am so obsessed on what I'm doing that it's like, hey, you go to see the I don't know the San Francisco Bridge or whatever. It's like, no, I'm going to go there and do something. We're going to shoot something, or so we're going to have fun like with the project too. So but awesome. I don't know. It's like I will try to see when I can go there too. So
so you gotta let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to bring all my friends out. We'll all come out and support you.
Okay. Great. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate taking the time to talk, and keep in touch. Maybe do like a check-in in a couple months, see how things are going. Hopefully, you know, like I said, you have those connections out there. So I feel like, you know, that it's only, you know, like the world's your oyster in a way, you know what I mean? You're starting, at least you're thinking big, and you're having these, you know, you're willing to work with others, and to, you know, now the opportunities can be really sort of endless at this point.
You're very kind, and I'm really honored. And I think this interview, it was like a real boost too. So I'm really happy. So thank you very much, Alison.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good one.